the God who is very different from us, very different from me, very different from you. There's a story in 1 Samuel 16. 1 Samuel 16 about a priest of God. His name was Samuel. And a young man named David, the one that killed the giant Goliath. While Saul was still the king of Israel, God commanded Samuel to go and anoint another king, a new king, a son of Jesse. And so Samuel said, I can't do that. If King Saul find out that I have anointed another person to be the king, he will kill me. In many words, God basically assured Samuel everything will be all right. Common sense says no, but God said, it will be all right, Sam. I'll take care of things. So Samuel went. Jesse with his sons, 7 of them, beginning with the elders, walking by the prophet Samuel. Obviously, the oldest must have been a good-looking guy, a tall one too. You remember King Saul, when he was anointed king, he was taller than anybody else in the whole nation of Israel, and handsome on top of that. So it was probably that same impression on Samuel's mind when Eliab walked past Samuel, and he said to himself, Samuel that is, this must be the man. God says, Sam, you got it all wrong. You see, you judge people by their appearance and their height. I do it differently. I look at the heart, the attitude, the character, and their intention. God is very different from we are. I don't know whether you have judged some people by the first sight. I don't know whether you married somebody who you fell in love with at first sight. But I'm sure there's some testimony about how wrong your choosing has been with some, right? You thought, boy, that guy, if I can only get him, I'll be the happiest lady in the whole world. Or ladies or men, what did I say? Well, whatever I said is the reverse. If I could only marry her or him, whatever the case may be, I'll be the happiest one. And you find out later, you have misjudged that person, haven't you? Even after 10 years, 20 years. I don't know that woman. I can't believe he's the same man I met 20 years ago. He's not like that at all. God is so different from us. So different. First, by the way we judge people. Nothing wrong with judging characters and the kind of people if we were looking for a certain type. But we need to understand the fact that the way we look at other people and the way we judge them is not the same as God. Today, the real thrust of the sermon is about how God came to us on Christmas, and some of the way God interacts with man and man with God, and some of the way in which we make judgment. How should we make judgment that are based on solid facts and truth? Of course, you know the answer. It has to be God's way of doing it. But how does it plan out in our daily lives? In Isaiah 55, verses 8 and 9, my thoughts are nothing like your thoughts, says the Lord, and my ways are far beyond anything you could imagine. For just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. We have read these many a times. We have heard it, we have taught it, but let's look at it again a little closer this time and maybe going a little slower and see if we catch what the prophet is saying or what God's saying through his prophet, Isaiah. God is saying, even though you claim to know me, even though you claim you know my thoughts, understand my ways, let me point out some things again that you may learn. First, God's thoughts are different from our thoughts. Isaiah 55, verse 8a. Would you read that together, please? Ready, begin. My thoughts are nothing like your thoughts, says the Lord. The way God thinks is different. It's better. It's perfect in comparison to ours. The way God thinks is different. Where we need to be careful here is the fact that most of the time, even though we know we're not like God exactly, we tend to believe that the way we think is God's will.